today you join me from the driver's seat of my buddy Jason's 1984 RS1600i. Now first things first, this is a base model unwelded shell with the RS1600i kit on it. Inside and exterior is of reminiscence of the RS1600i. It has a XR2 engine with R1 bike carbs. But first off, let's show this some B roads. Let's go and enjoy this 80s glorious Escort. So breaking this car down, it is a base model Escort. Nothing wrong with that. It's a completely unwelded shell, pretty much mint condition, original shell. It has then been taken by the previous owner and it has been converted into the RS1600i. So it has the full exterior kit, which I'll show you. It has the full interior from the RS1600i. Coupled with that, it has the XR2 engine with a set of R1 bike carbs. Now we're running around 115, 120 brake horsepower in this glorious machine, and it's adequate power for this car. It does off turning well, it feels really light and really 80s, this car. And this road I've actually done the Series 2 RS Turbo down, so I'm really intrigued to see what this car has to offer. With it being old, with it being a classic car, I want to know how this car drives and how it feels after so many years and so many modifications. Does it still feel as good? And after driving it for 10-15 minutes, I am genuinely in love. I really, really am. This car turns in so well. It has had so much new stuff on it. It's basically like it would come out of the factory. It rev matches perfectly when you blip that throttle, and it sounds so good when you do open it up on them bike carbs. The gear throw is so 80s as well. There's a little bit of slack in there, but nothing too major. But the throw is just perfect. With the shape of the gear knob as well. That sounds really weird, but the driving position is really, really cool in these. You've got these, you know, Ford genuine RS1600i seats, but the throw and the sort of layout of everything is so, so cool. I love the classic design of this shape Escort, but the gear throw just feels so good, and coupled with this RS 4-spoke genuine steering wheel, it provides such an awesome driving experience just from the driver's point of view. Now the power in one of these, especially with the bike carbs, is, you know, you can rev it around about 6,500 RPM on this one. It's just the feel of blipping down, you know, pops and bangs from the rear end. It just tracks, comes on power, you know, from about 4,000 RPM you're getting a good range of power, but you can rev it right round if you want to. You can really abuse these cars. The RS Turbo brakes on front, providing perfect braking for this amount of, you know, size car and brake horsepower. Turns in perfectly as well, especially in the twisties. Just think, in the 80s, people were driving these things around and it must have been mind-blowing. Absolutely just mind-blowing to have something this good for sale, or something you could, you know, create in your shed, in your back garden, on your driveway. Love it. So pulling over to reflect on this car a little bit and have a quick look around it. As you can see, it is just the 80s in one picture. I absolutely love the styling, the look of the fog lights at the front. It just looks so good and reminiscent of that time, you know, in car history when these cars were coming out. You know, the fog lights were a thing. they came from the factory like that. Now coming a bit closer to the front of the car, you have these awesome overriders on the front bumper, reminiscent of the time and really showing the age of this car. A really, really cool feature which you don't again see in modern cars. Jason has also put a private number plate on this one just to sort of keep the age and, you know, the idea that, you know, DL being Isle of Wight registered, sort of authentic to the car. I'm loving how clean everything is. Obviously Jason is a detailer, so everything is pretty immaculate on this car, but even the headlights just look brand new. Even down to the grille and everything at the front, it's all just pristine as if it's just left the factory. Coming around to the back of the car, such a cool shot. I love the sort of dimensions and squareness of these Escorts. The original RS1600i spoiler, it's got a Scorpion back box on this one as well. Really in keeping, quite a good girthy size to it. Definitely get your fist in there, and overriders on the back of it as well. Now coming under the engine bay of this Escort, you have the XR2 engine with R1 bike carbs, 40mm R1 bike carbs at the back, running around 115, 120 brake horsepower in this one. Jumping inside the car, you do have the full RS1600i interior, really, really good condition as well. Beautifully comfortable seats, nice little headrest as well. Really, really do like the sort of atmosphere you have in this car. But that's enough sitting around, let's get out there. Let's go and enjoy this thing, shall we? It's such a shame that everyone can't enjoy these cars. You know, RS16i's these days, silly money. Series 1 RS turbos, silly money. Even RS turbos in general, silly money. I would love one myself, but the price, just completely priced out of it at the moment. It's so rewarding to me to jump in something of this era, of this, you know, age, and enjoy it for exactly its intended purpose. Taking it out on a beautiful spring day like today, just enjoying the living hell out of it. Now you've got to remember, with a car like this, the 80s, it must have been so good. It must have been mind-blowing to be driving one of these around. You know, cars these days are really good, but you don't really get a sense of feel, a sense of, you know, cool factor that you would get in one of these. Biggest smile on my face ever. So, so impressed. Has the XR2 engine with the R1 bike cobs on it, which make beautiful noises. Jason has actually just bought a new engine for this. He's going for a Series 1 RS turbo engine, which is an awesome, awesome idea. I would absolutely love to see what this is like with a turbocharged Series 1 RS turbo engine. Something that me and Jason were chatting about. You know, he loves it as is, but he wants to turbocharge it. The Series 1 RS turbo engine has been bought, and this is happening. This is sort of the final drive, I suppose, for this car before the engine goes in. And although I could recap on, you know, how good this car is to drive and stuff, nothing will equate to that Series 1 RS turbo engine going in this car. I'm so excited for him, you have no idea. This doesn't need more power, don't get me wrong. I think it's perfect. Weight, power, drive, just the feel of this is so exquisite at the moment. But I love me a good set of bike carbs, but I'm so excited for this turbo engine. My overall thoughts after driving this car for the last couple of hours: it's so tight, it's so well put together, fantastic drive. The power is just right for exactly what this car is. Yes, it's going to have more power in the future, don't get me wrong, but I love the sort of power to weight feel in this car. Yeah, you don't need a million brake horsepower to go fast. You can really enjoy this car under 70 mile an hour if you really want to. It really is like a love letter, this car. Although it's not an original one, and it's, you know, got a different engine in it, it's on bike carbs, this is as good as they were, and it's capturing that time, you know, where Ford were really producing some unbelievable cars that you just don't see anymore, and this is one of them. You do not see these cars, and I love it. I love that I'm able to bring this to the channel. I love that Jason even owns this thing. I love the idea of it, and I love that I'm able to drive it for my job. This is my job. I'm so satisfied with this car, I really am. A little bit of brake horsepower, the, you know, feel of the chassis, steering, everything is just on point perfection. I love it, I really, really do. On that note, guys, I'm going to enjoy the last couple of B roads on the way back to dropping this car off. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I really, really do appreciate your support on these videos. I hope you like this car. Leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts on what's going to happen to it and what you think of this car. If you haven't already, check out fydapparel.com, support my clothing company, and I'm able to produce more car videos like this one today. And I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers, guys.